No. Hi, everybody. That took a moment for the internet to catch up. Hi. Welcome to Kobold Press's first stream for the Scarlet Citadel. I'm Dot, your little resident Kobold. On here on Twitch. Yeah, we're sharing good vibes. Thanks for the good vibes in chat. And y'all, we're so excited. We're hyped. Backstage was super hyped. So we're here. We're going to do this thing. I just got one announcement to make, which is that Scarlet Citadel is about to hit for all Kickstarter backers and for you to be able to purchase. So if you like what you see here today, stick with us. And it'll be, I believe it's going on sale here in the next week or so. So stick to social media. You'll see that announcement come through. That's all I got. I'm passing it off to the fantastically wonderful V Muse.
Hi everyone, I'm V Muse, and I am absolutely thrilled to be back in this seat for Kobold Press. Some of you might be familiar with my having run The Last Heir for 2 seasons, and I am thrilled to be back for Scarlet Citadel. I am also thrilled to have this group of players. They are fantastic, they are amazing, as you can tell already just from the cosplay alone. I can't wait for you to meet all of these PCs because they are absolutely wonderful in what I'm seeing already. So quick little thing about what's going on here with my running of the Scarlet Citadel. First of all, the fact that it's coming out soon, that is a good thing because I can tell you this right now from what I've been reading and what I've been looking at. This is a beautiful campaign, all right? This is something where you have a variety of options, a variety of places to explore, fantastic NPCs, gorgeous maps, and everything like that. What I will be doing for this particular mini campaign is highlighting aspects from the Scarlet Citadel. So I'm not exactly going to run it exactly all the way through because it's not going to be possible in the time that we have. But I want to make sure that I bring out some of the really cool key points as well as NPCs for you all to enjoy. That being said, my lovely players are also going to have some say in this. So what they want to do, the decisions they make, that will also be guiding me in terms of what I am doing with the story. And trust me, when you get to meet these characters, you're going to see why I want to see what's going to unfold myself, because chaos. Let's just put it that way. There's chaos brewing. And just rest assured, we have already had that conversation. We have safety tools in place. We've already discussed what's appropriate and things like that. Little heads up for tonight, there will be some slight gore happening if you have issues with some dead bodies. Just, if you need to step away for a little bit, I will make a point of saying, hey, something's coming up. If you're a little bit squidgy when it comes to, icky squishies, you could always step away and then come back to us or put the volume low or just pay attention to the chat or something like that. But we have all discussed things ahead of time. So rest assured, we are all good. So that being said, I just want to go around quickly and let everyone introduce their characters as well as themselves as to who they are. We'll get into descriptions and everything though as we start playing the game. So let's just do name, class, and race when we go around. So I'm going to start off with Diana.
Oh, yay. Oh, that's nice. So I'm Diana. Hi. I am going to be playing Ink, who is a mushroom folk and rogue. And I'm very excited. They, them for mushroom folk. And what else did you say?
Yourself?
And me? Oh, and me. My real self is Diana. I'm Super Dylan all across the internet. I am a D&D and TTRPG creator and streamer. And that's it. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, moving over to Cicero.
I'm muted. I am Cicero. I'm playing Nipsey, Gearforged Fighter. And I am Cicero Holmes, tabletop player, former cast member of Rivals of Waterdeep. I see some rivals in the chat, so shout out Rivals Gang. Make sure you guys go keep watching Rivals of Waterdeep. And I'm a podcaster, voiceover artist, improver, and I am very, very excited to be playing, even though I have no robot stuff on. I ran out of aluminum foil.
Well, that's fair. We'll see what happens. If we're getting that fun little mic thing that was happening before, it's in character. We're perfectly fine.
There you go. Yep.
Excellent. Drac. Oh, I love it. Drac, you are up, my dear.
Yes, hi, I'm Draconics or Jack for short. I use he, him pronouns. I stream all over the place, but you can just find me on Twitter at Draconics, that's Drakoniques. I have my whole streaming schedule there. And today I'm going to be playing Kuroko, or Kura for short. If usually his close family and friends call him that though. He's a piney Way of the Mercy monk. And a piney is essentially just like a giant tree well, not too giant, I suppose. They're still kind of a medium, but they're a fairly tall tree person with like skin like bark and flowers occasionally growing in his hair. But yeah, I'm very excited. This is my equivalent of like, this is what I really did. I just bought a quick flower crown, but it's I feel great in it, I'll be honest. So
You look great in it.
That's all that matters.
There's no question, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for it. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. Moving over to you, Lynn.
Hey, I'm Lynn, Flying Cirrus on Twitter and pretty much every place else. I'm she, her. I'm illustrator, and I do a lot of these TTRPG things. And I am playing Prin Shive, a entropy wizard, Tabaxi.
Most excellent. And last, certainly not least, Dot.
Hi friends. I think I spilled the beans already. I'm playing a Darrow, crazy little Darrow named Yuki, they them. Yuki is a druid, a circle of the spirits druid, and they're a little obsessed with the void. Oops. And they have a cave goat. This is the cave goat, of course, that they were fed to as a child, in which they were able to, crawl from the mouth of and having witnessed the void. So, it's like a life-changing thing. It bonds you, really. So,
yeah.
Oh, and I'm Dot. Y'all know who I am.
All right. Excellent.
I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention that my pronouns are he, him, and Nipsey's pronouns are he, they.
Okay. Lovely.
I also forgot to mention that my character's pronouns are he, they as well, Kuroko's.
Okay. I will do my best to make sure I get those right. If I slip up, please make sure you correct me. So that being said, is everyone ready to venture towards the Scarlet Citadel? Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So you've all been traveling together for a while now. You're a group of companions. You have done a couple adventures here and there. You've sort of done your ragtag team, started off in pairs, even on your own, and met up over various situations. Mm-hmm. And you find yourself meandering through the woods, heading south, just sort of tracking along. You've heard rumors of this place sort of nearby called Red Tower. Some people are saying it's a great place if you're an adventurer looking for a quick dime. Other people have said it's a really great place if you're trying to kind of, increase your magical powers, because the ley lines, there's some interesting rumors going on about the ley lines in this area. So after some debate, and by some debate, I mean very little debate, you all figured you just wrapped up your latest adventure. Why not go and check this out? It seems worthwhile. It's kind of on your radar at this point. So you're walking through, and it's a beautiful, almost summer-like day. You're hearing bird calls in the trees. It's dappled, the lighting, so you can still see. It's not so thick that you can't walk through it. In fact, for Kura and for Ink, it's almost reminiscent of what it's like in the Margrave when it's full spring. So for you, it has a very familiar feel to it. For everyone else, for Prin, Nipsey, and Uki, it's quite pleasant if you like bright and cheerful. If that's not your style, you may find it rather irritating at times because the birds sound so darn happy and you can see little animals skittering everywhere. But as you're walking along, I'd like you all to give me a perception check, please.
Ooh, that's roll.
We're rolling already.
Rolling already, huh?
17.
Ooh.
Whoa.
20. I mean, dirty
strong.
20.
Hey,
Whoa.
Well, we just keep.
Oh
it's
no,
going
our
up.
good rolls. Our good rolls.
Whoa! It legit
hey!
just keeps going.
Oh. Oh, I mean, it's good.
Oh.
All right, Cicero, what have you got, darling?
It didn't go. Hold on.
The anticipation is killing me.
I know. It was like
Yes,
Cicero's
it's
typing. It's like when you're having that serious conversation, you see the 3 dots just going.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, God.
Try the dice roller. If it's not doing it off the sheet, you may try the dice roller off on the left
Yeah,
and just roll the 20 and see.
we're still working on getting some things out, but yeah, okay.
Oh.
Okay, so for this, I like how chat's like, this is why we don't trust digital dice. No comment. So with everything going on, you're all pretty well versed in making sure you don't get too caught up in the moment. And while you're hearing, like I said, the usual bird calls and everything like that, you hear this rustling in the bushes along the footpath in which you're walking. And this is one of those footpaths that most likely animals use to get sort of back and forth through the forest. This isn't something that's normally used by people or for traveling all that often. And as you look towards this bush that starts shaking a little bit, you see this large toad hop out, and it basically lands right in front of you. And it gives you a toady blink a couple times and lets out this inelegant and just sits there looking at you. What do you do?
Hello.
It fixes its gaze over towards you, Ink.
I would like to cautiously approach the toad.
Okay.
And
You're gonna cautiously approach the toad and
just kind of get down. If it is smaller than me, I will get down a little bit closer to
it's
its
probably
head.
like no more than 6 inches high.
Yeah. Okay. So I will get
so-
down and lean down towards it.
Then give me an animal handling check. Okay, so for Ink, as they approach this toad, and even though their form is not all that intimidating, the toad kind of gives a startled blink and hops back into the bushes, where you suddenly hear this voice going, "What happened there, buddy? Come on, we're taking our walk. What's the matter? Here, come on, get back in my pocket." And you see, at first coming out of the bushes, this tow blonde hair. It's scraggly. It almost looks like straw. And you see this scrawny arm reach out and scoop the toad back up. And they step out from the bushes, and you see this wide, green-eyed boy, maybe of about 11 years old, staring back at you. And he's rather startled, and he just sort of looks at you and gives a similar blinking reaction like the toad first did when it landed in the footpath.
I will stand myself up and be like, "I'm so sorry about that. I forget how scary I am. I just wanted to say hi."
Okay. Give me a either performance or persuasion. All right. With a 13, you see this young boy sort of like almost protectively cover the toad in his pocket. And he blinks at you, Ink, and then he blinkingly looks at everyone else. Are you all like those adventurer types? You know, like the heroes with stories and stuff?
I would like to think so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we are.
You totally are, Kara.
Yes,
Oh.
we absolutely are.
Oh, wow. And he stops and he pauses and he looks at each of you carefully. And at this point, what is this young boy seeing as he looks at you, Prin?
Prin is a kind of gray young tabaxi. She has but she has like hair, like black hair, and she has a black kind of like arcane eye on her right side, and she is wearing a mantle of feathers and basically all the knickknacks and kind of like clothing that she just kind of has around is just basically tied to her, and she is holding a iron quarterstaff with a glowing orb on the side.
Beautiful. And he takes this all in as his gaze is shifted over to Uki.
I imagine Uki looks like he's kind of smelled a fart from the goat that he is riding. Or they are riding. Like, the look on his face is of a grumpy, crazy-eyed prospector underneath this, like, massive billy goat beard that matches, like I said, this cave goat that they're riding. He's, like, belted tunic, ripped and torn, and bangles everywhere, stuff roped and tied on, and like as they walk they make noise. It looks like potions and herbs and medical supplies, and it's all strapped to this goat, and I imagine Yuki's leaned over talking to, and let me just I ain't no adventure, we ain't adventure, no, no, I ain't going, I don't trust him. My mom always said don't put a toad in your pocket.
Perfection.
I think I remember that saying, actually. Yes, I think we had that in the Mar group as well.
Which then has this young boy looking towards you. Can I call you Kura, or should I call you Kurako?
I consider you a friend. You can call me.
Okay, is DM friend? Okay, so
if you give me like advantages on my rolls, I mean.
Right? So focus then moves on to you, and you see these large green eyes just blinking at you.
Yeah, so they see a tall, I'd say about 6'2", 6'3", humanoid. I say they look very human-like. I think the only difference is that if you look closely, you see that the skin is very much. It looks very wooden. You can see the grain of a skin, like probably similar to the grain of like oak wood, I'd probably say. And he's wearing mostly pinks and shades of brown and whites, kind of like very much a cherry blossom theme. And you can probably tell that was very much on purpose, because in his hair, which is black with wisps of white in it, also grows a bunch of white and pink cherry blossoms. In his hand, he holds a giant, probably a bit taller than him, so I'd say maybe 7 foot tall branch of a cherry blossom tree. Still some blossoms growing on it that he uses as a quarterstaff. And the clothing he's wearing is almost like a shawl, and it just covers one side of his body for the most part. His hand and arm is all hidden behind it. His left hand and left arm is all hidden behind it, whereas his right, he's completely bare. And he kind of like is crouching down to be eye level with this kid.
Oh, wow. And then his shift gazes to Ink. And like Kura, he kind of starts tilting his head too towards you, Ink.
Ink is very, very small, short in stature, mushroom folk, very slight kind of mushroom with red and white cap that hangs much bigger than this does over my head. It's very floopy over and kind of covers just the top of their. They do have like a knapsack around their arms that is carrying lots of useful things, and tucked up into the crevices of their little mushroomy folds, you don't see them, but there are daggers there.
And as his gaze sort of takes you in, he finally looks over to you, Nipsey, and you see these visible gulps as this young fellow takes a step back and then takes another step back. Oh my. Hi. What would he be seeing for Nipsey?
So Nipsey is a gear forge. So he is a robot of sorts. Kind of not steampunkish, not clockworkish, but there are some exposed gears in his joints. Almost like a version of C-3PO, but in the chest there is a little like swinging. All you New Yorkers will get this like peephole. that swings open, and in there is his soul gem that was his original soul. That's where Nipsey comes from, and he is also carrying a quarterstaff, but on their hips you'll see there, it looks like attachments for the quarterstaff. So there's like a broomstick, and or not a broomstick, but like the brush of a broom that's hanging from their hip. And then there's also what looks like a mop hanging, like the cords of a mop that also hanging from their hip. And then back behind them is an axe and what looks like it has to be a giant feather duster. So so that's what they see when they look at, that's what the boy sees when they look at Nipsey. And Nipsey says, I don't understand why I always evoke such fear. This is who I am. But you are filthy and you must be clean.
People are always scared of us, Nipsey.
Nipsey
Well,
now looks like he's gonna go over and he takes his thumb and rubs it over his mouth servos to like wipe a little smudge. Yeah, wipe a smudge off of his face.
Yeah, thanks. I guess, yeah, I can see how that can happen. I've been kind of running around.
Yes, exactly, just like that.
I'm Gabe. Nice to meet you. You're all really kind of cool. And y'all just got advantage too. Thank you very much, chat.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you,
That's
chat.
fantastic. So keep that in mind. Everyone gets to roll with advantage. Thank you to our lovely viewers. So Gabe he's got this huge grin across his face, and you actually see the toad's head sort of pop up out of his pocket, also blinking and taking you all in. You like to clean, right? And he points a finger at you, Nipsey.
Affirmative.
Oh. I just found something kind of cool in the woods. If you want to see, you might want to clean it up. If you like cleaning. It's also just kind of really cool to check out anyways.
What is cool? Is it the temperature has lowered somewhere in this forest?
No.
No, I remember Ink explained this to me because that was very confusing to me as well. Ink, you probably can word it better than I can.
Sure. So some people use the word cool to mean like very nice and good. And not at all cold, because you can be very warm and still be cool.
Like some would actually say that you, Nipsey, are cool, but not to the touch. Actually, I'm gonna let then Kuroko's gonna kind of place a hand on Nipsey's shoulder. And, is he warm? Is he cold?
Wait.
Wait, I probably should check before I say this. And he like places a hand on Nipsey's shoulder.
He's metallic, so
I guess it kind of depends on like the ambient temperature,
yeah,
right?
I guess it would really depend on where you're touching him. So like if you're touching him where the sun is hitting him, he'll be warm. Yeah, but like
Most of you isn't cold to the touch, but you are cool.
I don't get it.
Maybe a great way to figure it out is to see what this thing that is cool is, and then we can use
All
that
right.
as a reference.
We'll judge it by its coolness.
So, does that mean you're gonna come check it out?
Well, we're gonna have to define this cool, so it seems like a suitable answer.
Yes. we'll
Okay,
have to-
cool. Come on. And he like perks up at this and he starts sort of skittering back into the brush where you saw him, but he's looking over his shoulder to make sure you're following him in the process. Do you follow along?
Yep. Kuriko's keeping pace.
Yeah.
Okay. So you follow him along, and it doesn't take very long at all, like less than 10 minutes, if that. And you come to this clearing, and I'd like you all to give me a perception check as you get to the tree line at this point.
Click percent.
And let's see what we get here.
I think this kid is leading us down a willy-nilly path. I don't see nothing.
Are you sure? Can you see the beautiful scenery?
I see nothing but bramble and brush. I bet y'all wish you was riding a goat.
Okay, so as you all get to this, it's not so much what you take in visually, but what you start to smell. And for those of you in the chat who might be squidgy, now's the time to join us in about, say, 10 minutes or so, if you don't like descriptions. What you smell first is this putrid, yet almost sweet smell hovering in the air. And it's definitely one of those deals where it kind of comes and goes as the breeze picks up and dies down. But you can see that Gabe has walked into the clearing and is motioning you over. And he starts pointing to the distant edge of the clearing, which is probably about 30 feet away from you all at this
Do
point.
I know this smelly smell?
Give me, let's see, you can do either give me medicine or in your case, maybe history.
Okay, let's see.
Oh gosh.
I'll take a 21 on that there medicine.
Uki might have a new, well, considering Uki may start liking this kid's definition of cool a little bit more because this is a smell you are familiar with. It's that of death and decay for sure, without question.
Smells like a morgue.
Oh, that is cool then.
I'd say so, kid. You have not disappointed.
Ink is very unbothered, kind of like
I
waddles
suppose
in
it's
Yeah.
and it's like,
circle of life.
I think Prin just looks at okay, it's like, well, at least he'll be interesting.
Well,
We'll see how interesting it is, and then she'll bound toward the clearing.
wait, like goat in behind
And the
them.
goat.
Yuki, if you
Forgot
ever
you're
want
riding a
me-
goat.
I'm riding a goat.
Elements of this.
Oh, dear.
of-
So you're all
of
making your way over to where Gabe is standing. Gabe is probably about.
odors.
Wait,
Oh, I'm
wait,
sorry, I
What was
didn't
that
realize you were
last
speaking
part?
to
What was that? Yeah.
Oh no, that's okay. The individual odors of these smells remind me of the vampire crypt from which I was created.
Oh,
I
like
remember
home?
you mentioning that.
And
Some would say it's nostalgia.
Oh, nostalgia can be stinky.
so as you all start making your way towards, dear God, I shouldn't have said Crypt Forge. So as you all make your way into the center of the clearing, you see that Gabe is keeping his distance, but he is pointing to two bloated dead bodies that are lying on the ground.
No.
And next to them, on each one, there's a vulture just sort of doing their vulture thing. And as you approach, you see these two vultures sort of crane their necks at you, and their wings open up wide,
Oh,
and they start to flap at you menacingly, protecting their meal, essentially.
Can I do this? I do it back.
Okay, so let's roll for initiative.
I also was gonna do.
All right, y'all, time's a coming. Let's
Okay.
get some initiative in order, please.
Right.
Oop.
I rolled a 17. Surprisingly enough.
Oh wow, first nat one of the game.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna go around. If you can just call it what you got. Ink, what did you get?
11.
And then Drac, you said you got a 1, so it was a 4.
Yeah.
Prin,
Prin got 12.
12. Uki got a 17. Nipsey,
4.
a 4. Dexterities. Let's check out whose dexterity is better.
I got a 3.
Probably Nipsey's. Pretty high.
My dexterity is a 3, a +3.
Oh.
So Cicero, could you beat a +3?
No, I can't because my character sheet is bad.
Oh no. Okay, so we will then have Kura go before Nipsey. So our order here is going to be Dippa. Uki, you will get to go first. And then we are going to have Prin with your 12. Ink, you will then go with your 11. The vultures will then jump in. And then we have Kura going next, and then Nip to round off the round.
Okay.
Okay. So, Uki, you see these 2 vultures, wings open, beaks snapping. What would you like to do? You're probably about. Did you stay towards the back of the group or move towards the front?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I'm still on this cave goat, so I imagine if I probably would have stepped forward to like intimidate these vultures.
Okay.
And I'm technically a druid. Though I'm not high enough level to take a flying speed, so never mind, I can't. But I can do something else.
Okay.
You see, I step up, I expand my 2.5-foot wingspan, and I cast Maw of Needles on myself, which makes my teeth turn into like needle-like a bite, basically. A spiny array of needle-like fangs. That's it. Comes out from my gums, and I'm gonna try to intimidate these vultures away.
Okay. And you give me the 4?
So it's to say, okay, well, here, I'll give you the spell, and then do I need to, I'm guessing roll for intimidation? Why did I choose this? Okay, there you go. So if I bite them, it will do some damage, but that's just preemptory.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled an 8. Ah!
They make the sound back, but louder, and flap their wings harder.
I kind of turn around like, ah! That's all I got.
You tried your best.
Okay, so then moving on to Prin.
Prin will step to the get within 10 feet of the. Oops. She'll get within 10 feet of the vultures and just like, this is interesting and you're in the way. We gave you a chance. Well, maybe we'll have dinner. And then she'll kind of wave her arms, utter some words, and then her arms will turn into tentacles and just attack and try and wrestle down one of the vultures.
Okay.
So that is a spell called Writhing Arms.
Ooh.
Fancy smancy. Writhing arms, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make looks like you have to make a melee spell attack.
All right.
Bless you.
Let's use Oh, I do not.
Oh.
Okay.
Dread
So-
those 8s.
Too fast. Too fast.
So you attempt to go in and get one of the vultures within your clutch. Which one would you want? The one to the left or the one to the right?
The one to the left.
Okay, so you would be moving towards the one to the left and just barely, it almost does like that. Have you seen like the way that vultures kind of do this heffalump motion? It does that little heffalump motion and hops back away from you, clapping its jaws at you, almost as if it's laughing at you in response. But yes, it does not take holes that
Ah.
you didn't quite make it.
That
You're
blaster
close, but not
confounding weird movements bird.
Ah! Backing you up.
I can't. Ink. What do they do?
So Ink should be a little bit closer because Ink kind of ran in. So I think Ink should be close by enough to just leap at least one of them.
Okay.
And before they do that, they're just gonna be like, "You really messed up this one. We would have been friends." And then we'll dagger.
Okay, so Prin went left. Would Ink go right? And also at this point, Gabe would have realized stuff's going down, and Gabe, you hear oopa-dooping away back into the tree line. Almost like, nope,
Yeah.
nope, Mom said not to.
Yeah, Ink will go for the one that's not engaged.
Okay, so then you'd be going for the one on the right.
Yes.
And let's see, you got a 20, dirty 20,
Mm-hmm.
which is lovely, which means that's definitely going to hit. Let's see what your damage is there.
Throw damage in the section. Yeah. Wait. No,
Uh,
if you click the word dagger on the place where the
just
rolls
click
appeared,
dagger.
if you click that, it will roll the damage for you.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
hover your mouse over until it glows red.
no, on the actual chat itself.
Yeah.
Off your character sheet into the chat where it says dagger.
Got it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. That's fine.
Okay, lovely. So, Ink, you managed to get a nice blow into this vulture to the right. In fact, you almost get this sever line across its one wing so that it starts hanging limply. You've definitely caught a tendon and made it disengage, so it no longer can take flight, and it's looking pretty injured. And as you see this injury, it is now going to be the vulture's turn. And this one in particular is going to first start to try and go after you, Ink, because, I mean, let's face it, you done heard
I'm-
it.
Pretty intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to
So
take me out of the fight.
VR is going to go for Ink and gets a 13.
And that will not hit.
Okay, so in its effort to try and bite at you, Ink, it just can't move because the weight of the severed wing is keeping it from moving forward, which then will take us over to VL. I'm going to call the other one. And Prin, it's going to try and make an attack towards you, also snapping its sharp beak. And it gets a 15. Does that hit for you? You're muted, my dear.
Prin's gonna just put up a little, like a purple shield just comes up right at the bird. It's like, can't do that.
Okay.
So I'll shield it, so that makes it 17.
Okay. Using your reaction for shield?
Mhm.
Lovely. Okay, so it too, it just snaps midair. In fact, you could almost swear you hear this scrape of metal, but it has this interesting tonal quality to it as it hits the magic shield you put up in front of you. And as this happens, you and Ink would absolutely see in the midst of battle that suddenly these bodies start doing these bizarre undulations, each of them.
Oh.
And it's almost like certain areas of the body start to distend this way and then another way. And then at one point, the one body that's lying with its head turned, you see emerging from their mouth this little black beetle. And just as soon as that's spotted, suddenly coming out of both the bodies is this infestation of little black beetles that have been feasting on the inners of these
Nope.
bodies.
I've seen the mummy.
and they
Isn't
are
it
now
beautiful?
up.
The circle of life.
They have been lying in wait. So they are also going to try and make a go basically towards who they see first. So they're going to go for Ink and for Prin first. And let's see what we have here. So Ink, you got a 10,
Nope.
which misses. So I have a feeling you're able to start swatting them because you have the advantage of seeing the body doing this weird thing ahead of time. So you're able to swat them away. And
Yeah.
Prin, 7. So same thing, because you saw the bodies doing something weird ahead of time, you were almost able to sort of just like get your guard up and ready with that shield. So that is all they can do for this turn, which now brings us to Kura. It is your turn.
I think Kura at first was like, why are we attacking these birds? They were just feeding. Is that not what animals do? But I suppose they're attacking us now, so I'd like to at least knock them out. I don't want to interrupt the circle of life. And he's gonna go up to the nearest. Oh, has any attacked Ink?
The one on the right has attacked Ink.
He's gonna go for that one then.
Okay.
He's gonna
so
rush towards. VR. Yeah, he's gonna rush towards the to VR this vulture with his cherry blossom quarterstaff like dragging behind him, and as he swings, he's gonna cast Hoarfrost, which just as a bonus action, which coats his cherry blossom quarterstaff in like a semi-translucent frost as he swings at this this vulture, and it's going to be two-handed because he has nothing else in his hand.
Okay. That'll absolutely hit.
Wow.
Okay, so you're hitting to knock unconscious, not to kill.
Yes, to knock them out unconscious. So probably like across the side of the head to knock them out.
Okay. And as this silvery dusted frost of your staff makes contact with the vulture's head, you see this poof of the mist of the frost sort of disintegrating. And the vulture does this sort of like reeling thing and then clunks down to the ground next to the corpse, ironically in a similar pose with the tongue lolling out and everything like that, but it is unconscious. So it's been disengaged. It's out for the count for a while.
And then I'm going to I'll use Flurry of Blows and kind of in the same swing, he's going to move and switch and use one hand to hold a quarterstaff and run towards the next vulture. I have 50 feet of movement, so I assume I'd probably be able to.
Okay. At this point, yeah, you would have moved. You would
not 50, sorry,
probably
40.
use like not even like half your movement at this point, so you could make the rest of the way and probably have like 10 feet left of movement.
Okay, cool. So yeah, then I go to the other one vulture that was attacking Prin and go for a punch with that.
Same thing. We're making sure it's just to incapacitate,
yeah, just
not
to incapacitate.
Okay.
That does not hit.
No,
so
it
he swings
whiffs.
and misses.
Okay.
Oh wait, actually, I think Flurry Blows is 2 attacks. So I might. Yes, 2 unarmed strikes. I can go for another one if I miss that one.
Sure.
Exact same thing. No.
Digital dice. So you kind of whip, but it's, you might even be, it's sort of distracting because you're realizing that as you're moving, you're also getting blinded by these beetles that are starting to take flight and move around you as more and more of these things start pouring out of the 2 bodies. All right, Nipsey, it is your turn, and we are at the bottom of the round, which means that Uki, you're up next.
All right, so what does Nipsey see? What's available to view?
In terms of what's around, improving a weapon of sorts?
Oh, no. In terms of, is there anything to squish or smash or clean?
Oh, there are tons of disgusting black beetles either crawling on the ground or flying in the air around you and your companions and the dead bodies.
Yeah, so, man, yeah, I wonder if Nipsey heard Kura ponder why we are trying to hurt these things. So it's careful not to step on the beetles, but they do want to maybe possibly. So they're going to use to see what they can do. How about that?
Okay.
So what did we get?
6 on a shocking grasp.
So 6 on the shocking grasp. So
Yeah.
it won't hit, but what does it look like as Nipsey is trying to get shocking grasp started?
So the his fingertips, they almost light up. They look like they've illuminated, like they're almost like 10 little flashlights. And he is now taking his hand to try and grab one of the birds out of the air. And as he's trying to grab them, you can see, like, if you pay attention very closely, you can see arcs of electricity going between the fingertips. And he's just trying to grab for one of the birds, but misses.
Okay, lovely. So with that, Uki, we are back to you. There are black beetles
Everywhere,
sort of
right?
everywhere at this point. They're
You said
swarming
they're
around
coming
you.
out of the body.
They're coming out of the bodies.
Great.
Buddies.
Okay. Buddies, Uki is, I prepared for this. And I make a diving leap off the back of my foot-tall goat, and will just, start tearing apart these bugs with my mouth, because that's the weapon I chose. So,
Tasty.
yeah, tasty. It's so tasty. I'm just
Protein requirement for the day.
yeah. I want to make sure there's nothing else that I can do. No, I'm not going to break out. We'll do that. That'll be later. Okay. So I believe I just get a basic attack against it. I'm going to double check here. On the hit, the target takes, basically make a melee spell attack. Okay, that's what I needed.
Okay.
I guess the easiest thing to do is to roll up and add 5. Boom. 5 makes an 8. I'm gonna use my advantage.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Let's see what happens now.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
That's it.
There
so
we go.
23 to eat bugs.
So what does it look like as Uki gets this chance to just start tearing into these beetles with their shiny black exoskeletons and loveliness?
I imagine it's like I'm tearing them apart, but I'm also trying to communicate with the rest of the party. That's like, they're really great. And grabs one. He's like, oh, this is a big one. Because he's using these fangs that he's grown.
And the damage we get with this lovely
actually,
smorgasbord.
1d6 plus 5. Ooh.
I
Not
suppose
shabby.
there's also
I know.
The Circle of Life.
Yeah.
So I won't accept
there
this.
you go. Yeah, 8 points of damage. And it looks like I leave some of them behind. Take bludgeoning damage equal to it, and then I leave some of these things behind, in the ones I guess that didn't die.
Okay, yeah, there's still some swarming around. Uki did make some damage to this swarm. There's some, bits and pieces. This might be a little bit much for Nipsey. Scattered along the forest floor now, making this, Uki squishy mess. But Uki, great job. What about your lovely goat friend?
Oh, yes. Narla needs a chance. Narla. Okay, well,
what's the goat gonna do?
That's a really great question. That's a really great question. Well, the goat only has so many actions. Ram being the only one. So I think Narla is.
Narla could ram the because there's the one vulture that's still.
Okay,
up and
Narla
about.
will not attempt to kill it, but will. Narla knows what knocking things out's all about. So we'll roll for Ram. A 12.
a 12 will hit.
Oh, it will. Okay. All right.
So what does Narla do?
This bludgeoning damage, 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Yeah, Narla. I imagine mouthful of bugs. Yuki's like, go and help him. And we see Narla and take a running start with these really gnarly horns. They're not pretty. They don't loop. They definitely don't match. They're kind of janky. And just rams this buzzard right to the lovely feet of our Kiriko.
I love it. And I love that the chat has an icon for a goat. It's perfection. Okay, so Narla manages to make contact, and similar effect. You see this vulture sort of stagger a little bit, and then it does like this sidestep motion and then collapses to the side unconscious. So all that's left now is swirling around all y'all are these beetly, lovely bits that are happening. So you have these black beetles still going around all of you, which now takes us to Prin.
So Prin is just spinning around, basically using the tentacles as ways to kind of like keep them away and also like smacking them. And while she's spinning, she'll like, okay, this might not be the time, but what do they taste like? What do they taste like? If they're sulfur, don't eat anymore. That means they're poisonous, but what do they taste like?
They burn my tongue.
Interesting. I guess we'll take a look once they throw it. And she'll use her writhing tentacles to like just try and like smack a bunch of the swarm out of the air and kind of like smush them.
Okay, and I believe that is a DC on my side.
No, it's a spell attack.
It's a spell attack. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's use Firebolt. 11.
11 just hits.
Oh, good. All right, so it's 1d10. So
okay.
6 necrotic damage actually.
Ooh. Okay, so as these tentacles go whipping around, what does it look like as you do away with another good portion of these critters in the air and on the ground as your tentacles whip around you?
She's been kind of like guiding them toward in front of her, like just kind of like using as a swarm, and then a couple of them just like come just right down on them. Okay.
So kind of like this, and you probably get that nice audible squish, and
yes,
similar, ooze and squish is what's happening with Uki's mouth. I'm sure we'll get him a napkin later. Get them a napkin later. And so that is now Ink, your turn. The vultures are both unconscious. The swarm is definitely not as prolific as it was before.
Okay,
it's definitely been thinned down.
But the vultures are still alive. Both are
They're still alive, but they are knocked out. They're going to be out for a little while.
Okay. I just want to use a bonus action and cast Hobble on the swarm, the remaining bits of the swarm, and to stop them from being so swarmy. Less swarmy would be great. So that's gonna be a DC 12.
DC 12. Okay, so let's see here. And they just got a 7. Which I'll talk on my chat here.
Nicely done.
Yep. So you got yourself a 7.
Great.
On that one.
Yes. So their speed is halved for now till the end of their next turn. So they've got this turn and the next one. And then what I'm going to do, since the others are unconscious, I'm going to turn around and just... So we do want to kill them. We do want to kill them.
I don't see why we would want to kill them. We interrupted their dinner, if anything. I think we're the ones in the wrong.
They were very rude. We don't scream at people.
I was just trying to intimidate them.
I mean, yes, they were quite rude, but death shouldn't be the punishment for rudeness. I think.
You're right.
Well, we could just dig around here in these bodies, find out what we need, and then when the vultures wake up, they still have a body.
Yeah. They should be out for at least the one I knocked out should be good for an hour.
And we took care of their bug infestation problem, kinda.
Yeah.
I think we should something about the bodies. It was not normal. The bugs started moving around when the vultures were screaming and hollering. So I think that we should take a closer look, because it seems like maybe the vultures and the things
Closer look, you said.
Might be connected. Yeah.
Oh, I love a good close look at it.
Well, all right. Okay, let's get in there. Let's see what we have.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I will deal with the bugs then.
Okay, well, we're still in initiative. So, Ink, are you going to sort of ready in action at this point, or you used a bonus action? Talking is free.
Thank you. I yeah, I'm gonna ready my regular dagger attack in the
Okay.
event that a swarm or one of these vultures tries to attack me.
Okay. Specifically you.
Specifically me. I'm gonna in that time I'm gonna just let
Fair enough.
everybody investigate.
Okay, just want to make sure we're clear on intention. So
Yes.
you're ready until someone attacks you. All right. Well, that brings us to the vultures who are still out cold. They've been hit up the head. And then we're going to take it to our buggy buddies. So they are going to attempt to attack each of you. However, you can tell that they're sort of not feeling or acting quite as strong as they used to. So Uki, a good amount of the swarm that's left is going to try for you because you're eating their kind,
Well,
and that's a 19.
well, that hits.
Okay, so you will then take 5 piercing.
Oh, perfect. Can I use reaction here for this?
I mean, it would qualify as a reaction.
Would qualify. Guess what? My blood is caustic.
Oh god.
So you bite away, but you're also gonna take some damage because it's piercing. So I'll take my 5, but yeah, it's a acid bath right now.
So they take 9.
So caustic blood says they're gonna take 9 points of acid damage. Blood becomes caustic when exposed to the air. When you take piercing or slashes, I can use the reaction and select up to 3 creatures in this case. Each target takes 1d10, which I rolled, so 9 points of acid damage.
Okay, so
Yes.
so as you have these beetles biting at you, Uki, you're almost acting like one of those insect lights that you'll see on hot summer nights. Zap, 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 zap. They all just start falling like crazy around you. And the majority of the swarm, because they went after you, they just sort of fall to the ground. And in fact, there's only a couple little ones still sort of buzzing around haphazardly, not quite sure what to do, to the point where if you could hear the thoughts of these beetles, which you can't, you'd almost realize that they're thinking, you know what? Nope. And you see just a smattering of little black beetles flying off into the distance away from you. Now, if anyone would like to take an attack of opportunity, you are more than welcome to, but they're giving up.
No, I'm definitely gonna let them go.
What?
Okay.
I don't taste good.
I look at Kura and look at the beetles, and then I see that Kura's not doing anything, and so then I don't do anything.
Okay.
Yeah, Prince is gonna let them go. It's like, well, I guess you taste like burning as well, and they just can't take it.
Okay. So you're out of initiative at this point. The vultures are going to be out for a good hour or so.
Oh.
So you're left with these 2 bodies and 2 unconscious vultures. Again, a phrase I never thought I'd say, but then again, this is D&D. Anything can happen. And you hear, "Oh, wow, that was cool."
That falls under the definition. Gabe, where are you?
If
And he's gonna like turn around.
I'm
and look for
over
Gabe.
here. And he sticks his head out from behind one of the trees and waves.
You should stay over there. We don't know what is with this area quite yet.
Okay. And he just puts a thumbs up.
Your ability to camouflage is most impressive.
yeah, you are a sneaky little one. Come out of nowhere.
Well, sometimes you gotta be good about not getting in trouble. So, because there's moms and there's dads and then there's like the mayor and the const. Anyways, I'm good at hiding, yeah.
Where are you from?
Red Tower. Where are you from?
Oh,
Well, that
Well-
information will cost you, kid.
I don't have any money.
Well, Ink and I are from the Marguerite Forest. If that's the answer you're looking for,
Oh, that's cool.
it actually really is. Have you ever been? It's
No,
really
but
great
I've-
this time of year.
Oh. Okay. Now, while these little conversations are happening back and forth with Gabe, do any of you take a look at the bodies? Or you
Yeah,
sort of
I'm completely ignoring this conversation and digging
I was
around.
gonna say, we have a rogue. Okay, so let's see here. Ink, they when they search the first body, if they could please roll me a d10.
Yes. Just a straight D10. Okay.
Just a straight d10, please.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, so as you're scouting out this body, you find in one of the pockets, and you notice that the clothing on this.
Wait, can I use my advantage on this?
If you would like to, absolutely.
I would like to. Yeah.
Ooh.
They figure it out. Go ahead.
Oh. And you never know if it's better or worse.
Oh no, the odds were literally in your favor and it just
This is where we need that sound. Ba-dum-bum-bum.
So never mind.
So, Ink, as you're going through the pockets of this particular body, you notice that the clothing, it seems a little bit more refined. It's well stitched. It's got some quality leather to it, although there are definitely some marks of damage that are most like related to cause of death. But you do find in one of the pockets a gold piece.
Well, I'll kind of come over with Prin because, you know, we wanted to dig around in the bodies, not. Well, I have no interest in taking their stuff. Yuki doesn't.
Okay.
Yuki wants to know cause of death, how long.
Sure. Okay. So then, in this case, medicine check. If Prin is helping you, I will allow for advantage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Prin is old. Prin is.
He may.
Oh.
Okay, so 24.
Nice.
What's Prin doing?
Prin is also gonna like sniff the air, and if she can sense any magic around.
Oh.
So she's casting detect magic.
Okay. There's really no magic floating in the air. You can't feel anything.
She'll look at
coming in the air tonight. Nope.
Strange, but nothing arcane. So nothing like that. Just
sounds boring.
Strange nature.
No, but Uki, you would notice that along looking at both of the bodies. Okay, with both of the bodies, you're seeing that there's been severe slashing damage, even some puncture wounds. Now, some of them are smaller and most definitely from the vultures, because you did see the vultures perched on top of them. So there was some damage on the vultures, but it has that post-mortem injury factor going on. However, the marks that you can tell that were done while these individuals were alive, it's large slashing marks, claw-like but sizable claws, and bite marks as well that did these individuals in.
I pointed out, CSI style. I put my sunglasses on. I pointed out CSI style, and it looks like they was tacked, and they've been laying here a bit long enough for in their beetles to crawl.
Okay, does it look like the things that attacked them are the things that are right here on the ground, or something different?
Oh no, they's just eating dinner.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, for one, I mean, there is some bite marks. Not me. That it wasn't me this time. But right there, and then some. Maybe some. I'm thinking some tiny, swords, little ones.
Oh, swords.
Yeah, right. With a little puncture wound here, a little slash in there.
Does anybody see any personal items on these things?
Ink went digging in their pockets. I seen it.
Yeah. The one, not the other. So the one body was searched, but the body to the left wasn't searched yet.
Okay. Prin's gonna just kind of search the body, see if there's anything that she can find on the body.
Okay, absolutely. So Prin, first of all, I'd like you to roll me a d20.
Hell yeah! All right.
Straight up d20.
Straight up d20. Oh wow!
Oh no. Ooh.
Okay. So you find a silver piece in the pocket of this other individual.
Ah, good. At least something.
Okay.
So she's gonna Do we mind staying here for a little while? I'm just gonna figure out if there's anything with this. So she's gonna just take out of her pack like her divining cards and just while holding the piece, kind of do some readings. And she is going to use if we have time, do a ritual of here it is, read object.
Oh yeah, for a minute.
Yeah, so she's just gonna or be enough time to do a ritual.
You have
yes.
time. Yeah. Yep. These vultures aren't going anywhere. You've probably spent you've at most it's been about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
so while all of this stuff is happening, Nipsey has pulled out his quarterstaff. He's kicked off his broom handle or the broom brush part, put it together in one quick motion, and sweeping up the beetle carcasses into a pile as everyone else is doing other things.
Oh my
but
gosh.
He is making sure that the area around them is very tidy.
I love this.
You hear a robotic kind of purring as it's happening.
And that ain't the goat.
Also, like while this is happening, Kuroko sees the crossed leg on the ground, like talking with Gabe, and it's like, yes, we Ink and I actually came from Marguerite Forest. We've been on a lot of adventures actually. You said your name is Gabe, correct?
Yeah.
Would you like a flower? I feel like at this point we're friends, so I feel like I like to offer my friends flowers.
I'm not giving you my toad.
That's okay. I don't want your toad.
I could get you one if you want a toad, but I'm not giving you this toad.
I'm interested.
So am I actually. Could we both have toads?
Yeah, I could get you guys a couple toads. I might need like a day or so because they can be slippery little suckers.
Don't put them in your pocket.
Yeah, I remember that.
I feel like
So as they're having this conversation, Prin, and you're holding this silver piece, you get a vague image of a gentleman basically exchanging it with another. This is something that's just been used for currency's sake. It's nothing that's really connected too long to the individual or significantly to the individual. This is basically just used to pay for something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really all you get from it. Okay.
She's like, not getting your readings off of what attacked, just knowing that they did some business here, exchanged some money, and then whatever happened to them. But I have no idea what is happening here.
Interesting. Deal gone bad?
Maybe. I'm not getting any. Maybe I can just hold on to it a little longer, see if I can figure out something.
You want to try for a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Okay. So back to this conversation with Gabe. Well, I mean, if I'm taking orders, all right, so we're up to 2 toads. Does it matter what the color is or size?
Just like big enough, small enough, big enough, whatever, that they could just live. I feel like this is a good place for a toad.
You look really good with a toad.
Right? I just think it's the only thing that's missing. Really, I'm pretty much set other than that.
Do you mind if I touch? I don't know if that's a hat or what that is, but is it okay if I kind of just use my hands to get a sort of guess of what that is?
You go
Is
ahead.
that okay?
You go ahead, but you make sure to wipe your hands afterwards before you eat anything. Otherwise, you're going to be really busy for like the next 8 to 10 hours.
My mom says the same thing when I come back in from playing.
Yeah.
I think this might be different to what your mom means. We've definitely had someone.
Oh.
Yes. If you do end up eating, maybe eat at home because you won't have much time to get back home before you start getting.
Oh, this is like Outhouse Occupado. Okay. And so Gabe will carefully kind of get an estimate of the size of the cap. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I got an idea now. And he wipes his hands on his pants and looks at his hands. And he goes to kind of like lick one.
I no, I wouldn't. I don't think that's enough of a clean.
Like a stream nearby.
I'm just testing you. Okay, I think I have an idea of a good toad for you. So 2 toads it is, and then we'll go back to Prin. So Prin, as you hold this and study this more intently, you get a sense that this coin hasn't gone very far. It must be from Red Tower, and it must have been involved in some sort of exchange. And you get the sense that it was almost for goods of some sort. Perhaps... maybe it was a loaf of bread or 2. Maybe it was to replenish some sort of, whether it's arrows or some sort of weaponry, something like that. But the coin itself isn't going to give you more information about what happened here.
Okay.
Because it was more established in Red Tower.
Okay. Well, not getting anything from what caused these deaths, but I can tell that maybe they came from Red Tower.
Seems like that's where everybody's coming from.
Well, it's the biggest place within walking distance, so I imagine they wouldn't come all this way.
I can take you there if you wanna.
You know these people, kid? You said you're from there.
No, I don't know. I don't recognize them, but we get a lot of people who come through here. A lot of people who want to do the adventuring thing.
In Red Tower?
And do a lot of people come back out?
Well, depends on who's telling the stories.
If you were telling the stories, would lots of people be coming back out?
Well, I mean, I guess for the most part, I mean, you kind of have things here and there that go, as my father likes to say, and he doesn't say a lot, sideways. That's literally all he would say is sideways, and then he'd go back to work in the orchard.
Oh, he works in an orchard. What kind of orchard?
Yeah, apple.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
Sideways, well, because my dad, he doesn't like to talk to people that much. He's concise, as my mom would say.
But he says sideways.
Is it like a direction, a location?
Oh, I think they mean things going sideways, as in going wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he'll shake his head and go sideways and walk away. Not sideways, but he walks away.
Okay, I was gonna ask because that would be a very odd way to like shuffle sideways.
Well, I mean, you could.
I suppose he could. I shouldn't judge if he does walk sideways. I do have a question. I was literally thinking that.
Right. So your daddy thinks it's sideways. And these folks, I feel bad for him almost, kind of.
Maybe we should let my parents know about them, or you're gonna need to stay somewhere. I could take it to the cage.
Oh, the cage.
That's actually good. That's a good. I keep forgetting that. I have to remember. It's a tavern and an inn.
Okay.
Is it called the Cage? Because that's a pretty sick name for a tavern. And actually, like, girl, we should remember that.
But it's so cool as to why they call it the Cage.
Wait, does it got more dead bodies? Because last time you said it was cool. Yeah.
Well, kinda.
Oh.
But they're all dead. It's an old dead body. I'm not explaining this very well.
Oh.
You have to see it to believe it.
Can we get a group huddle?
Yes.
Yes.
1 second, kid. We're gonna figure this out.
You're not allowed to. Apparently, you're not allowed to listen to this. This is what they call a sidebar.
I think.
Oh, is that like earmuffs?
Yes, earmuffs, and you have to say la 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 la.
My mom tells me to do that, And so he puts his
Oh.
hands over his ears and he just starts humming this nonsensical song as you're all talking.
Okay.
Hey, everyone, I know we have like something important, but I think this child needs like I don't think his parents are very supportive. They may be some kind of neglection going on here because
Is that
I'm just picking up
we
small
just
signals
watched
here.
critters crawl out the gut of this here dead body, and you's worried about this kid's parents not taking care of him. My parents fed me to a goat. I ain't
Yes,
worried
and
about this kid.
I still would like to talk to your parents about that because that's not very responsible.
Kara would not have let that happen. if
It
he
was
was
that or
there-
join a cult. I'd say give me them goat guts.
Okay, well,
Oh.
all right, then that's
Okay.
fair.
What I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is, I think we ought to follow this kid.
Well, yeah, I bet we ought to follow him back to his parents' tavern. One, because taverns are very fun. We don't get to go to them very often. And two, I have a feeling that his dad has been inside and maybe knows more.
Maybe.
Also, I would like to talk to his parents about their parenting.
And also, Kara needs to have a good talk with them about how to rear your children. But also, he keeps talking about things going sideways, which means maybe he knows about things going front ways.
Oh, now see, that's the most logical thing I heard all day.
Quick question, everyone. What are we gonna do with the? She'll gesture toward the bodies.
Oh,
Do we want to take them, or what are we doing with them?
Oh, that's a,
So when Prince says that, they look and already Nipsey has been moving over to like prepare the bodies for like either burial or wrapping or some sort of like nice natural way of disposing of these bodies.
Oh, I guess we're gonna have to start. We should dig a hole.
Do you think the people? Because it's so hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes, with necromancy. Do you think it would be a bad idea for me to have a helper, or is that going to make things awkward? This backpack is heavy.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Well, I say the more the merrier.
Okay, do I know how people react to this? Just because we're walking into a new town, I'm assuming.
She'll be like, I'll put on the cloak that says, "I'm a helper" on it.
Did
Well,
that
as
work
long
last
as
time?
it's transparent and everybody knows, I'd say we've given them a fair warning.
Hmm.
Though it might set off the locals if you just start with. We don't even have his guts no more.
Yeah. I do remember the last town. They did not particularly like that.
Can a helper like hang back a little bit?
Yeah,
Like
I can just.
while we like introduce ourselves and then we can be like, you know
That's the
us.
start of another adventure.
Yeah. I think helper can hide. Just stay very still.
It sure would be nice. This is why I got a goat. You gotta have something to carry your stuff. I feel you, Prin.
I'm not going to condemn this, but I'm not going to say we should do this. I'm going to wash my hands of this breaking of the circle of life.
Well,
As soon as Kuroko says that, Nipsey pulls out what looks like hand sanitizer to Kuroko.
I think this has happened before. I think like because we've said that
It's like-
the Prin has like done
Washing
necromancy
is
before,
a-
so he's probably used his exact same wording before, and he just kind of like puts his hand out just instinctually for Nipsey to put his hand sanitizer in. He just rubs it in.
Oh boy.
well, kid. I think how they say, lead the way.
I jump up and down.
No, you don't have to jump. Okay, Kuroko's gonna go to and like gently move his arms away from his ears. You can listen. We're done with the sidebar now.
Oh,
Good
okay,
job
cool.
not listening to our sidebar, by the way. That
Wait,
was actually
wait.
very impressive. The last time we did that, everyone eavesdropped. That was honestly quite rude.
They weren't
Yeah,
very
and I
honest
said a lot of
folk.
embarrassing stuff in that one.
That's disrespectful.
Especially
to the
since I
cage?
have difficulty with voice modulation.
That's actually a good point. That
It's
might have
true.
been on our part, actually. We probably should have
Voice
whispered last time.
modulation is difficult for me.
Well,
Still a neat sounding voice. So we're going to the cage?
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
lead the way, child.
Just give me a moment, child. Do not be concerned if this body gets up. It's a
Don't-
helper.
Yeah, don't turn around.
Gonna like kind of Kuriko's gonna like put a hand on Gabe's back to keep him from turning around. Just goes, "Don't worry, I don't like looking at it either.
It's kind of like blinders.
Yeah, Yuki
Just
gives you a
don't.
big thumbs up and a wink as I mount
Okay,
my void goat.
so then how about we have Kura do a persuasion check
Oh,
on this
boy.
one with advantage because you have Uki. Though it feels weird saying Uki, he's helping you with this one, but
Okay,
Let's see what you get with that one.
persuasion,
Mhm.
19.
Okay. So you're able to, yeah, with a 19, he's like, okay, cool, let's like follow the leader. And he thinks that everyone's probably going to be following him like this. It's sort of like, you know, we used to walk this way when we were little kids at school, except I think hands were on shoulders, not on the other side of the eyes. But hey, it still works. And so Gabe will lead you out of the forest back onto a main road that you were on before and lead you into the town of, or the village, I should say, of Red Tower. And from your approach, you see that there's a lot of open field, and there are these barricades that go all the way around the town. There are some outhouses here and there. You know, it's your typical village. Your daub and wattle buildings, your thatched roof. Some of the buildings you can see have stonework and such. And he leads you in to one of the main thoroughfares. And to one side, you see to your right as you enter this rather large 2-story building, which from your side of, or point of view, you see just the side of it. But it looks like it's well kept, probably a place of importance. And there's a couple of cottages near it. On the other side to your left, you will also see again some more cottages of probably people who live there. But then you cannot miss the fact that in front of you, young Gabe was not lying. There is, sticking out of the ground, this impressively large rib cage. It looks like a rib cage.
Oh.
And it is
Oh.
acting as arches, almost like a walkway,
Oh.
leading into another building. And he points to it. See? That's another cool dead body, but it's an older dead body. Like it's been around
Wow.
for a really long time. But that's the cage.
This kid, he ain't letting us down.
No, absolutely not.
You're
He
really
really is coming through on the body front. All
Babe,
right.
how strong is it? And then before waiting for an answer, Ink would like to take like a big jump and try to do like a little swing jump, like from one of the rib
One rib
cages.
to
Okay.
another.
Give me an. I think that Kura, your alley-oop had a little oomph to it, and because Ink, they are so small, it doesn't take much to lift you up into the air. And while you do manage to dangle from this ribcage, you realize that you're also hanging a little bit higher than you meant to. You're not at quite the peak of the ribcage itself. You've managed to glom onto maybe 2/3 of the way up. And as your arms make it not even around, just like enough so you don't fall flat, you do like this little slow motion and literally hit bottom on the
Yeah.
one side. These ribs are huge. Like they are massive.
Can we
As a
tell
structure.
what they came from?
If you would like to give it a history or a medicine check,
That's,
I'll
oh,
allow it.
Kuriko kind of like throws his hands up like, Ink, I think that was the highest we've ever done it.
No.
That
Damn,
was
that's
way
big.
higher.
It's big.
Way higher
Okay.
than we ever did it.
I think you're a little bit
like history.
or
Yeah.
Lacey.
distracted more by making sure that Ink made it.
Yeah. 11.
Oh wait, are
Okay.
you rolling? I had no idea.
If
You know
you
what?
wanna-
I'm
if
too,
you'd like to
I'm
find
too
out.
distracted. You know, I'm too.
You're too
happy about that
distracted.
great
That's fair.
throw.
That's
Yeah.
fair. So yeah, all of you, like, you can just tell, like, this is like a really
Wow.
big rib cage from something. What it is exactly, you're not sure, but
Mhm.
if a building was used, if it was used to build a building around it, there's something significant to it. So Gabe's kind of saying, like, yeah, so I'm gonna go now, but you can go in there if you want, like, room and board and stuff, because it's a tavern and an inn.
What? Hey, kid, weren't you supposed to introduce your daddy?
My daddy don't live here.
I look at the group like, wasn't that the plan?
Where does he live?
I
then?
don't know. All of you seem to assume that they worked at the tavern. I thought I missed something, so I went along with it.
No.
Man.
He's in the apple orchard. I better go help him now. Bye. And he turns on his heel
Oh.
and he goes scampering off and he waves behind him and goes, I'll make sure I get the 2 toads. And you see
Thank
him
you.
kind of hang a quick left as he runs a little bit further down past the larger building that's well kept towards this less well kept massive building that looks like it's a little bit in ruin. And he disappears off a little side street, more like a pathway.
Well,
But you're left standing at this archway of ribcage bones.
But it's a place to stay, at least.
Yeah.
Well,
They have.
And we
things
see
like ale
where
here.
the orchard is.
Hmm.
I definitely would like to see the orchard if we can.
what
Of
do you
course.
think they serving up inside this here cage?
It's one way to find out.
I like your attitude.
Now we just have, I mean, it's been a long day of hiking. Let's get something to eat and drink.
And maybe we can ask these here locals what's going on. Oh, and if they've
Yeah.
seen them, well, your friend should stay.
Yeah, I was actually going to.
But if they've
Yeah,
seen
do-
your
do we have
friend, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I'll
So
tell-
the helper is staying outside. Is that the plan?
yes.
Okay.
Just leave her-
So you all decide to enter into the cage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you walk through and enter the cage, it is one of those lovely taverns and inns where, you know, inside again, it's those dark wood panel details as well as the cross beams and everything like that with, you know, the plaster walls. There's some heavier wooden furniture here and there, heavier for reasons of making sure, you know, if so much get a little rambunctious, a little harder to pick up and toss around.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably at this point later on in the day, so it's not quite dinner time, but it's definitely not a lunchtime crowd that would be in there. So it's actually pretty quiet. If you give me a perception check, each of you, give you a rundown of who you can see while
Oh.
you're in there.
Can I bring in my
Ooh.
goat? Or is that gotta stay outside too? I got to
You
20.
can certainly try.
20. I'm gonna ride my goat in.
A dare and a goat walk into a bar.
in Midgard.
I think if
Okay.
any other characters walked into a bar, it sounds like the start of a joke.
All right, so as you all walk in, the general consensus you pick up, for those of you who got under a 19, you're picking up the fact that there's really only a couple patrons there. Nothing too descript that you're more looking around and kind of taking in the expanse of it and noticing that there's sort of like little trophies here and there of different things, like different animals, some sort of weaponry, like that type of thing. Basically, like, you know, if you go into a lodge, it's trophies like that on the walls and things like that. But you also notice that there is a cheerful looking woman standing behind the bar, and she's just, you know, polishing the bar, towel going, and she'll look up. Oh, hi there. Hi, y'all.
Hello.
And she'll
Hey.
wave to all of you. But for those of you who got 19 and above, you would also notice that behind this woman, she's sort of blocking this individual, but you'll see every so often as she's moving with the wiping of the tables, there is someone else sitting at the bar, but all you see is this white tuft of hair every so often as she's moving back and forth. Oh, now, so
Nipsey.
new arrivals?
Yes, actually, yes.
Well, we ain't been here. Yes, technically.
Right, so that makes you new.
Yeah.
we'll have drinks, please. And I'm going to pull
Yes.
out the gold coin that I got off
Oh.
of the corpse and put it down and say, drinks, please.
Okay, then you want to start a tab then, is it? Because this will get you a few drinks, honey.
I am Kura.
Yes.
What's a tab?
I think that's when you kind of, they kind of,
That's
I'm
what
not
happens
entirely
when
sure.
you drink too much.
Oh,
Nipsey, do you know what a tab is?
In my travels, a tab is a tabulation of goods and services that you have accrued during your time in one said establishment.
Wow.
Thank you.
oh,
We
That
ain't done
sounds
nothing here
correct.
for this establishment. Our tab should be 0.
So
Well, you can also pay up front if you're planning on staying for a few rounds. Some people like to do that, you know.
we also need a room.
Oh, sure. Do you want one big room or little separate rooms?
Ooh, I feel that's too much pressure to answer that for the whole group. Group?
I, which one would require less money so we had more money to pay tab?
Right. So we're on the economy budget, you're telling me.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, first of all, nice to meet you. I'm Addie.
I'm
And
Kuroko.
she'll kind of like, throw the towel and stick her hand out to whoever's closest, quite frankly. It would probably be you, Ink, since you were sitting or, at the bar. So she'll shake your hand. Okay, so now economy package, that's one of our more modest rooms. It'll be sort of like a bunk bed deal. And I could probably get a nice little cot squeezed in there for this one right in front of me. And it should be cozy enough, yeah?
That sounds wonderful.
Yep.
Does it have
And
a,
if you decide you want to upgrade, you can always upgrade the next night or something like that, depending.
sounds good to me.
Well,
How many of those can we get with this?
How many of those? So instead of the drinks, how many of the room can you get with one of the gold pieces?
Just curious, yeah.
Well, I'd say that one can give you about 7 nights.
wow.
Nice.
Can we split the difference and get like some drinks and then like 3 nights?
Sure. So you can get a round and then 3 nights. With a little bit of change left,
Y'all, I'm pretty sure we just did math.
Yeah, I think so.
Hold on, wait. We pay with the golden pieces. Hold on. I want to see if we have money. So I feel like we've been adventuring. We have
Somebody's got
some,
money.
right? We have like starting coins.
Yeah,
right?
you would have had some
Yeah.
starting
We got-
money going on in
Yeah,
there.
I got 10.
Don't tell her our secret. We got gold.
Got lots of gold.
Robbed.
This is DM Meta speaking to you. Yes. Let's say you all start off with like 15 gold pieces in pocket from your most recent adventure type of situation.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna pull out a gold coin,
Yeah. So
and place that down. I would like to
believe
buy.
that Kura would probably. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Here, go on.
I was just saying that Kura would probably want to get the gold coins, but I think they would be with Nipsey.
Oh,
And
do you keep
and
our
so
monies?
they like come out of like this register drawer. Yes, they come out of like this register drawer in his stomach, and
I love this.
so
I
it
love
just
that.
slides out.
Yeah, I just go up to Nipsey and like, do you mind? And I pull it out and take out the coin. We would like to have a room for 7 nights, and then each of us can have a gold's worth of drinks. It can come from my cut of last adventures pay. I don't mind. It's on me.
Wait, we get
I don't-
cuts? Okay.
Okay, so the room's all squared away. We're good. This one right here made sure you got your room. Thumbs up. And then you'll want to pay for a few rounds for you and your friends.
Yes.
You got Eaton's back there? All I
Oh,
had today
yeah.
was some bugs.
Yeah, sure. There's some ham. There's some chicken. There might be a leg of mutton left. I'd have to check with Rosie just to see.
Maybe I'm just going out on a limb here. You wouldn't have to have any of the meat off that there carcass out front, would you? Or know what
Carcass
it's
out
from?
front?
The big one.
The rib cage.
The big one.
Oh! Well, if you want to know the lore, just say, hey, what's the story behind the ribcage?
Well, not all the locals as nice as you.
Well, when you own a tavern and an inn, you kind of have to make sure you're sociable. Yeah, no, my ancestors, they felled a giant. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They did that. They felled the giant. And then they were enterprising enough when the giant, sort of fell away to use the ribcage that was left what of trophy-like means and use that for the entrance and build the tavern and the inn around it. Yeah. That's why it's called the cage. The rib cage,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's probably why that there probably aren't that many other giants walking around, because that could get messy. They see
it's
that.
also a good warning sign, Come here, this is what we're going to do to you.
Well,
I mean,
now
that's
that
not a
don't
bad
seem
way to go.
hospitable, no how.
Well, sometimes you can't be hospital at all times.
I mean, reduce, reuse, recycle. So I'm all for it.
We just traveling through. We heard there on the road. It was dangerous traveling through these here parts.
Well,
People's goes missing.
Well, yeah, there's, sometimes there's some issues with bandits here and there, and that's why we get some of the adventuring types like you coming in here and there every so often to see if they can figure out what's going on with the bandits, or, maybe even make their way out into the world of the Citadel and come back with some of the treasures, but that's a different story in and of itself. You said you were hungry too, right?
Treasures?
Treasure.
Treasures.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, tell you what, let me get you food and drink first, and then we can chat more about the treasures and the such.
All right.
Of course.
We've
Sounds
got
good to
plenty
me.
of time.
Well, we sit anywhere we want.
Sure. I mean, she kind of moves her arms around, and as she moves, like, there's literally just the one person. And again, all you see is this white tuft of hair at the end of the bar. And then you see that there are tables sort of scattered around. And there's one other gentleman sitting in the far back corner, sort of just, look, every so often will look up and then look back at his drink. And you can tell he's having his late afternoon meal. Giving off very much the don't bother me type of vibe.
Y'all want to start taking bets? That's what's in that there tough.
Sometimes, like, things just cover your eyes. You can't help it.
A lot of times a small animal like a bird or something.
I bet it's a gnome with a toupee.
Oh.
What you
No,
think?
with a
I mean-
a dwarf with a toupee. Is that? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Dwarf with
A
a toupee.
halfling with a toupee.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Excuse me, Tuft.
Okay, so as you were having this conversation, her name is Aradna Gyorski, by the way.
Oh.
She goes walking off
Gyorski?
into the back, and she's going to go talk to her brother Brosi, that she calls him. His name's Ambrosi, and going to place a generic order of food for travelers type of situation. So as you're calling out to the tuft of hair at the bar.
Excuse me, Tuft. Make yourself known.
Oh no.
Performance or persuasion, or do you want intimidation?
I don't think I'm trying to intimidate yourself last time.
Oh
It's
no.
hard to tell.
I know it is. I know. You know what though? It's the best stat that I've got out of all of this. I am show yourself out of
We're
12.
gonna rub so many people the wrong way, and I just
Out
love
of
it.
12. Okay. Okay, so you roll a 12, or you have a 12. And is anyone else piping up or letting Uki do the talking?
I'm actually uninterested in that. When drinks come out, I'm going to grab as many as I can carry
Oh,
over
no.
to a table and like set them up and kind of like make it nice. Like I'm going to fold a napkin in the center. This is like our first dinner together in a while. So, yeah, I'm going to make
Okay.
it look nice.
So when
I
it
wanna
gets to that
join
point,
them.
you will absolutely get a chance to do that. But for Uki shouting to the tuft of hair, you kind of just see the tuft sort of, and you realize that it's a tuft of hair because the person isn't quite sitting at the bar so much as standing at the bar, and their height doesn't reach up and over.
Right.
And you just sort of see like the head sort of turning, and then you hear this shuffling noise.
Hey, wait, that's rude. We was talking to you.
And as you say this, Uki, this head pops around the corner, and you see this chaos of almost candy cotton-like white hair, and this withered old face with wrinkles and jowls, and there's almost this little mischievous grin upon the individual's face, and these sparkling coal-black eyes as she takes a step out from the bar to make herself seen, and you see that she's wearing this long red cape that's clasped with a gold leaf at the one shoulder. And she smiles broadly then.
Oh, finally, I've been waiting for you. Took you long enough to get here, you know. You shouldn't leave one waiting for so long, but never mind. You're here, and that's all that matters.
And Prin, she actually comes walking over to you. And she barely clears the top of this bar.
You know, it's a rather long walk coming over here from the Margrave, but of course I didn't walk. That's a different story. But anyways, it's been a long journey, and I was enjoying my cake and beer. But now that you're here, we can have a lovely conversation. So,
We were supposed to meet here with you.
well, I was told I was supposed to meet you here. You specifically here. You are Prin.
Yes.
Yes. Because
Oh,
under
this-
the- Yes. I don't expect you to know me all that well, but I think you know whom I have sent you. She and I are good friends. Now, sit down, all of you.
And she'll motion over to the table where Ink has gotten everything ready.
Mhm.
And she'll make herself at home. She doesn't sit where there's any place setting in terms of food or drink, though. She makes a point of not taking what is not hers. And she sort of fluffs herself out. And as everyone sits around her, she looks at you, Prin, and she smiles.
Now, probably best I make my introductions. I'm Mama Rayana. Baba Yaga has sent me.
Oh,
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, I
Greetings.
heard about her. She's supposed to be.
All sorts of things.
She's supposed to be.
That's a
amazing.
very, very good way of putting it. Yes.
Very powerful, very wise, and
Why?
occasionally dangerous.
Yeah, ooh, yeah, I like that. Why she sent you?
Why wouldn't she send me?
I don't mean to be disrespectful. I didn't mean like why you. I meant like what she said you were supposed to meet us here? For
No, I'm
what?
supposed to meet Prin here. There's a very clear clarification on that one.
Ah,
I am to meet Prin. Prin, you're to get something specific.
What does
For
the
good
great
reasons.
Baba Yaga want from me?
Oh, it's nothing to worry about. Nothing.
Oh no, this
much.
is no. This is exciting. This is exactly what I wanted.
Excellent. Oh, good. Oh, she'll be happy to hear about that when I get back
Yes.
to her. Excellent. Well, you see, my dear, she heard rumor that you were on your way here. And she knows from other rumors, because she's good about rumors like that, that perhaps, maybe, you could use a little boost here and there. Every so often, she likes to reach out and help her kind, her people, her, some people say devotees, but I find that, little too pompous. Plus, you have these two.
And she points to Kura and to Ink.
I mean, you must take care of the Margravians, mustn't you?
Of course, my friends.
Of course. All right, my dear. Well, before you get started on finding out more of what's going on around here, I need to make sure that you get this.
And she goes into her cloak and she pulls out this bracelet for you, Prin. And you notice that it has these iron links to it. And I'm going to show it to everyone now. It has these iron links to it. And it has hanging from these links 4 charms. The first charm is an iron tooth. The second one is an iron skull. The next one is a bronze mortar and pestle. And the last one is a bronze chicken foot.
Now, each of these means something significant. All right? Now pay attention. Because I'm not going to explain this again. I have to get back to the Margrave because Lord only knows what my metal man is getting up to. You're another one. I've got my eye on you.
And she's saying this without any breath.
Now, if, for some reason, you find yourself in a fix and you need some assistance from yours truly, take one of these iron charms, and it'll bring you and your companions to me. But only for a limited time, 10 minutes. Or, if it's something where you can't bring everyone along, or perhaps it's better if I come to you, use the bronze ones. But again, I can only be there for about 10 minutes. That's it. You go back to exactly where you were before, and I will return to where I was before.
Exactly.
But keep it close, just in case.
Of course, I will keep it very, very safe. And I'll watch over it for this precious gift from
The
Powerful.
grandmother.
Yes.
She says hello to all
Really?
of you.
Oh,
She does. She takes interest in adventurers every so often. Just be careful how much interest you gain. She's been watching you. A lot.
And at that, she pushes back her chair and she toodles off and actually walks out the front door, waving her hand behind her.
Be good now. Maybe I'll see you later. Maybe I won't.
And you get this burst of sunlight and it sort of silhouettes her figure. And as the door swings closed, you're left back in the tavern light. And you're sitting around and you have the food laid up and ready for having a nice little meal. And Addie has come over and she leans her elbow on the table. Okay, now, so I hear you're looking for some adventure now, aren't you?
That we are.
Excellent. Well, have I got some news for you? And that's where we're going to leave it for our first episode for the Scarlet Citadel in the village of Red Tower at the Cage.
Perfect.
Oh
Perfect.
boy.
I love it.
Did not think we were going to have such a socially awkward party. It's so bad.
yeah.
It's so bad talking
We're
to
a
people.
very
It's
awkward group.
hilarious.
Well, you know what? So I can go last and make announcements. V, why don't you go first and tell everybody who you are and what you're up to when you're not here?
All right. Well, hi, everybody. I am V Muse. You'll probably see me bopping around over on Twitter most often as, at V_Muse. You'll also catch me every Wednesday over on WizKids YouTube and Twitch channel doing Mini Mayhem, where I'm showing off different products from WizKids for the role-playing line. Their role-playing games line, clarification there. You can also catch me once a month now doing the WizKids Paint Party. We just finished up one last Saturday with the lovely Tanya DePass and Nora Ibrahim. So if you want to go and check that out, check it out as VOD. And you'll also catch me once in a blue moon over on, I saw it floating around the chats, the Black Dice Society as Nika. And I'm also every Thursday over on Mini Train Domain as Cantriel, the sassy, mouthy bard. And that's where you can find me for the most part. And I do other things too.
Yeah, so much stuff for the record, everybody.
There's
Go
like
follow.
5 minutes left in the week.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
We're gonna go counterclockwise, making it. I think Lynn, that makes it your turn.
Hey, I'm Lynn Flanksaurus on Twitter, Twitch, every place else where you can catch my art and the games I'm on throughout the week. And you'll catch me next tomorrow on Starlight Battalion, a mech show on Praxagorath Symphora's channel on Twitch, where we are going to probably get ready to crash a wedding with mechs.
Wedding
So
crash.
we should see. Yes.
Nice. I think that I'm not staring at my screen. I'm staring at James. Sorry. Diana, that's your turn.
Hi, I'm Diana. I'm Super Dylan all over the internet. If you follow me on Twitter or if you go to my website, superdylan.com, you'll see all the things that I do. Big one that I have done is I published a Neverland setting guide that is compatible with Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. It is a full setting. And if you keep an eye on it, it is about to be updated with a subclass from the Noir Enigma and a adventure from Avalon, my podcast co-host. I am one half of the podcast Femsplained, where fem nerds get to nerd out about stuff that they like without being interrupted or quizzed. I am going to, on Wednesdays, you can see me play a robot in a game of Burn Bright on my brain broke Unmade Gaming's Twitch channel. And starting this Saturday, you can find me in a brand new campaign that is just starting on Kira's channel, and Kira is in the chat, so you can find that there. So I'm very excited about that. I do a lot of things, so that's all.
Cicero.
Yeah, I'm having imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Please. I wish I could say that.
Right. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter, or actually you can find me on all social media at StubbyStan, StubbyStan, not Stabby Stan. That's a different person. Don't follow them. Well, follow them if you want, but it's not me. Also, I am on the Test Your Might podcast, which is a video game podcast where we debate video games and such. So you can check that out at the 90s First on Twitter, and Test Your Might wherever you get your favorite podcasts. I am also on the Discovery Debrief podcast, where we talk about all things Star Trek, especially Star Trek Discovery. And occasionally you can find me on the Incomparable Podcast Network. So I'm here, there, and everywhere. And and also if you want to hire me for your voice stuff, I'm for hire. So check out my Twitter for that.
It's a pretty great voice, y'all.
Really is.
Drac, bring us home.
Yes. Hi, I'm Draconics, or Drac for short. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I stream all over the place. On Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm over on the D&D channel in the Candlekeep Mysteries series. Right now, I think we played Book of the Raven, and now we're playing Scrivener's Tale, which is another chapter in the Candlekeep Mysteries, and it's already gotten real interesting. Every Tuesday, you can find me here, obviously, at 7 p.m. Eastern, playing my my tree-person monk, who is just as socially awkward as everyone else. I honestly thought I'd be the one that would be like bring the awkwardness. We all did, and I love it. Every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, you can find me over on Rule of Law in a Cypher System campaign called Infinite Horizon, where I play a time-traveling lizard alien. It's a lot of fun. And this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern is going to be the finale of a Clockwork Dominion campaign called Midsummer Mysteries. It's set in 1889. We're trying to solve, as the title says, a mystery. Just before, actually no, at this point, we've reached Midsummer, so it's kind of the last day to solve this mystery. That's going to be the finale over on Table Story. You hear my voice every third Sunday of the month in an actual play podcast called Sea Riders RPG, which is kind of like Sailor Moon plus Pop Idols mushed together in a mass campaign. It's a lot of fun. I'm also the event organizer of Friends Roll Dice, which is a TTRPG Twitch channel that we created with friends, and we put a player call out actually recently, literally today. I don't know, time is a construct. Where we're going to be doing a charity event. We're going to be raising money for a charity project, and we're calling for players to come and play. You haven't played TTRPGs at all, or haven't played TTRPGs on stream, would like to give it a try. Also, I'm the stream manager of One More Multiverse, and we have an actual play coming out soon, starting on that every Wednesday at Translate.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who
3:30.
pulled.
I think it's no 5:30 Eastern. Every
Time.
Wednesday time zones. 5:30 Eastern. Starting on the 23rd of June, and it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm very excited for to meet my character in that game as well. And that's it. That's everything.
Are you sure?
No,
Do you
also,
even have? I was gonna say.
also,
There it
we have like one day in a for the Kickstarter of a TTRPG called Necrobiotic. We just hit the stretch goal for my adventure. That I'm going to be writing for it. But we still have a ton more stretch
Oh,
goals.
nice. Yeah, I
with
saw
some
that.
writers.
That's very exciting.
So yes, please back that. We have like a day, I think, just under a day left for that.
Okay.
Now that's everything.
Awesome sauce. Well, I'm a Dot. Y'all know I'm all up in this Kobold business all the time. So, you know, you can find me here doing things. Every Wednesday, I host Kobold Chats, which is our Wednesday chat about all things Kobold Press. So you can come hang out tomorrow. That is tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. I'm going to be sitting down with our editor, Megan, who knows all the things about the underworld. We're going to be talking about the lore of the underworld. So that should be pretty cool. And then the rest of the time, when I'm not over here being my best Kobold self, I'm out there rolling more dice, telling more stories. I do that over on Unmade Gaming for all my sci-fi stuff, and I've got a pretty sweet podcast if you like Vampire the Masquerade that won a bunch of awards this year. So you can check us out under Stitch of Fate. That is what I have for all of you. Until next week, same Kobold time, same Kobold channel, and you know, if you want to get more of this, check out our YouTube, everybody. I want to say thanks to all of you that donated, helped us get that advantage. Clearly, it was worth it. Yeah. What do I usually say? We'll see you next week, and don't do anything a kobold wouldn't do. Bye, everybody.